This is part 2 of episode 10 of the Crave podcast with Elevation Fitness Training. Thanks for listening.
All right, so elk season, bear bear will be gone in September. For somebody who, I have a friend who would like to get into a little bit better shape. I know a guy. He's a super cool guy, really nice guy. But, he might be packing a few pounds, For people like him, what would be a good exercise for them just to, get somewhere to start? Would you not including the shake weight?
Yeah.
That's a given.
I mean,
yeah,
you should have
We try
that
not
on-
to selfishly promote that. That's just
Right.
It's like 11:30 at night.
Right.
Just 20 minutes.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
its own marketing campaign.
Right.
Doesn't
yeah.
need it.
Kind of sells
Infomercial.
itself.
Why
doesn't it?
why the 900 number to order the shake? I don't understand.
We're trying to throw you off the trail.
Right. No, but just to for our listeners out there, that maybe want
What's
to get in a little
the
bit better
go-to
shape.
like one thing like, hey, if you gotta do one workout, what is
burpees.
it? Burpees.
Yeah, I mean,
Super
I'm
burpees.
My gut says burpees. Historically, I've always been the type to practice how you play. If we're going to be bow hiking, we shoot our bows almost every day. We shoot our bows. We shoot the shit out of our bows. We shoot them. They've got 2 years worth of wear and tear on them in the couple months since they've made them for us. I mean, that's what we do. It's what we love. It's what we live. It's what we teach. It's what we share. Be proficient with your bow or your weapon of choice to do the justice to the animal that you're hunting, right? Because
Right.
every one of us, no matter what, want it to be a humane harvest, right? So do your work and become as good as that as you can. If you're going to be hunting in the western states, we're going to be hiking. We know we need good footwear. We know we need that stuff because we're going to be covering miles. So, hey, put a backpack on, carry enough weight as far as water to start out and go hike, And just like Courtney said, find a spot somewhere and do 10 burpees and then see how long it takes you to recover. Take a minute and a half. Okay, I feel a little bit better. And then try to double that. Try to go. But I think you need to just functionally practice how you're going to play, If you want to bench press, do bench press. If you want to run. If you want to be a better swimmer, you can't do it on land. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, sure.
But I have to, burpees are a go-to.
Yeah.
Because they suck.
Yeah.
And it's a mental toughness thing, and you guys all know hunting out here, you have to be mentally tough.
Yeah.
So
do you think that, with all of the, and, honestly, cards on the table, we've probably poked some fun at, the over-the-top fitness rage that's going on right now with hunting, but do you, maybe a lot of fun.
it's a really nice way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like very gentle.
We may
All
or
the
may
cards on the
not
table.
have.
We may or may.
Here's the deal.
That was a given. That was a takeaway close right there.
Well, the bottom line is we all know that, and we all do get in shape or try to get in better shape, for hunting. But do you think that it makes you a better hunter? I mean, when it comes down to it, and you're in a canyon and you got a bull going. I mean, obviously there's a fitness element to it, but does it really make you a better hunter? Do you guys think?
Yes, without a doubt, I would say yes.
Yeah, and I would say yes because it gives you confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And those, like I said earlier, in those hills where, how many times I've seen the bottom of her shoes for an hour hiking up a hill, and it's what it is. It's what we have to do. I think that to be a hunter, it's not only firing a weapon, it's your movements. It's a stalk. Now you take somebody that doesn't have balance and they have a very weak core and they don't know the value of walking quietly. Hey, there's technique to that. None of us learned how to walk on accident.
Man, I'm going to interrupt you there because there is nothing more frustrating than walking in the woods with someone that is loud.
I have one of them sometimes too.
No, there's more than
Her
one.
name's
There's more
Courtney.
than one around the table.
Yeah, we're all that. We're all
But
that.
no, you're right.
Yeah.
It is not. It's something. And Nate, I'm going to call you out here a little bit because you.
Uh-oh.
If I knew
No,
you would.
he's gotten much better. Like it's gotten much better. But there was some time. You hear the gobbles?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're around.
That's all I can hear, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But no,
Well-
when we first started hunting with you, I mean, you had you were knocking some rust off.
Yeah.
I mean,
Had
it's
some lead
it's a
feet.
learned And yeah, definitely being in better shape. And
Yeah. And if you're strong and confident and you have balance, you're going to pick your feet up and you're going to walk with purpose. You're not going to shuffle. We're not walking across the sand. That doesn't matter if you make noise. It's about being quiet. We had to do a pretty dangerous log crossing a couple
Well, we
months
didn't
ago.
have to, but I think we kind of wanted to do that one.
We had to do
We
it.
had to get
video
across
it.
there.
We had to prove it. There's certain
this is
standards.
the kind
you
of
have to
shit we're
keep up.
talking about right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 40 feet at least to a rocky creek bed, and it was an old growth tree that had fallen, and there was maybe 40 or 50 branches that could hold about 18 pounds of pressure. So it's not like you could use them to catch your balance.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was very intimidating. I mean, and I'd love to go jump out of another plane. I live for that thrill, I like kind of hearing that giant bear not too far away, knowing that we both have our firearms, right? And
Yeah.
we've got a plan, but I like the thrill of that. And I think that, if I'm fresh off the couch, there's no way in hell I'm trying to go across that thing. And we were both pretty intimidated by it, but it's like, you know what? We're capable. It's just getting your mind around it. And so I think the whole fitness thing is the same thing with hunting. It's, if you're capable, you're going to go farther and you have a better chance of being successful. So yeah, I think it makes you a better hunter.
Well, and there's capable, and then like you said, there's the mental aspect of it.
Right.
And mentally, you guys know, all of us here, that working out can break you.
Absolutely.
And whether it's running to the end of the block or doing push-ups or burpees or whatever, you get to that point where your body says, okay, that's enough. And then there's the mental aspect that says, well,
Usually your mind says that first.
Yeah.
Right,
Well,
exactly.
Yeah.
Your mind always says that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Your body can go much farther, than your mind. And I can think of several times where I was ass whipped, I was defeated, and I've got the best, partner, coach, cheerleader, whatever you want to call it. And Courtney, who's not going to let me stop. She's not going to let me quit. She's not going to let me. She knows what I'm capable of, and vice versa, same thing. There's times where it's like, it's hot. My this hurts, my that hurts. I'm tired. I slept like crap all night long. We had a bear outside of our tent all night playing in the river. Neither one of us slept.
You get up and you go
We're
for
gonna
it.
get up and drink some. At least we have good coffee. We spend money on coffee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want the
Yeah.
best coffee in the morning, and I know that I've got 4 words pre-coffee for Courtney. So in the morning,
That's all he gets.
I get
4
I get about
words.
4 words,
And I'll
I
give
write
him
them
a
down.
shaker, a nod, and
Yeah, and that doesn't count against my words.
Yeah.
If I can get just something audible, and it's prime the system and get up and go, man. If you want it, we're gonna have to. These animals aren't just gonna jump in your truck.
No.
Yeah.
So
I think to kind of get back around to the question, though, it really all depends on how you want to hunt. I think from all over the United States, it can be different. But how do you want to hunt? Some people don't want to work that hard for it. So, but I think when somebody's really serious about going out there, the animals aren't standing on the road, right? You've got to get out. You've got to go and explore and hike up the mountain and get to the top or the bottom, and that'll change. If it sucks, you're not going to enjoy it, right? It's going to be hard to go back the next year and be excited about killing yourself. So
well, and that the journey, as cliche as it is, the journey is really better than the destination a lot, or the result. You think about Nate and I drew a tag this year in Eastern Oregon, and God, we were ready for it, and we were in good shape, but last day, whole scenario like it is on the TV shows, last day, we had to hike our asses back in there, and we did it. We shot a bull, but that week leading up to it, honestly, is more memorable than and all the stuff that we went through, and the aches and pains, and the dirt we were sucking in, and the dust, and the heat, and the sweat. That's really what made it so awesome. And
it's funny that you can look forward to that, right?
I do, yeah, absolutely. But also this time of year, in June, I also know that if I don't prepare, then I'm just not going to be able. It's not going to be an enjoyable memory. Like that was an enjoyable memory because we were prepared, and were we sore and we were tired and sweaty, but
like 2 years ago when we hunted in Colorado, I was not prepared for that.
Yeah,
and
it's
we
intimidating.
had a successful trip that time too, but man, that was the longest 25-hour car ride home after that.
Yeah,
sure.
I bet.
Oh, I bet.
Man, it was, thinking back at it now, it was still enjoyable. Man, I was miserable.
But it's more fun when you're in better shape
Yeah,
and more
yeah.
prepared. Yeah, I
most
mean,
definitely.
We've gone up some of the steepest, gnarliest, roughest terrain that I could possibly imagine. And I mean, you can call it suffering, you can call it whatever you want. It is what you make it, right?
mm-hmm.
We're slightly sicko. You know, we really kind of get off on that stuff. We like it. And so we get up to the top of this absolutely mindless, stupid, steep hill, and it was like, man, that was pretty kick-ass, wasn't it? You know, that's pretty fun. Not very many people get to do that or can do it. You know, so yeah, it's a victory and it's an ass kicker all at the same time. You know, so yeah.
Courtney, so before we started recording, you mentioned that is it right that you just started bow hunting about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago?
I did. Yeah. I guess it was the September before last. You know, I've been rifle hunting since I was 11 and really enjoyed it. My dad took me out and it was kind of our thing. And I just wanted a little bit more. Not that I had learned everything that there was about rifle hunting and not that rifle hunting's easy, but I wanted a different challenge and I wanted to learn a new skill and have a new hobby. And so I picked one up and I loved it. I mean, I shot the first few times and I was just like, wow, that was awesome, without even seeing like the amount of possibility that I can do with that as far as, you know, enjoying the outdoors. And yeah, so a year and a half last year was my first season hunting with a bow. I didn't end up killing anything except for my ego missing a grouse.
But it was a close miss.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I don't know what I did, but yeah. I'm looking forward to it this year. I was able to hunt quite a bit last year by myself too, when Stephen was out of town. So that I'd drop the boys off at school, and I'd run up to our spot, and I'd get in the tree stand. And I did have a pretty small buck come through this year, and you know, I'm not too proud because I feed my kids, you know, with that meat. We want to eat that. So I would have taken a shot at it if I was able to get a good shot, but I wasn't, I guess, prepared for the shot opportunity coming and passing so quickly, because I kind of froze up. Like, that deer came walking up there, and I'm like, well, God damn it. There are animals out here. There's a buck walking right towards me. Okay, but my bow is on the hook, right? I didn't really think about sitting there with your bow, you know, super prepared, but it came like as this bow's approaching, like I can't reach and turn and grab my bow and now be prepared. Yeah. So I was able to learn a lot last year, and just like with rifle hunting, I don't think that learning ever stops. You know, you kind of just get into a predicament and figure things out as you go too. So
that's the best way to learn.
Yeah, I was super impressed because, you know, I've been an athlete my whole life and worked with, I mean, gobs and gobs of them actually all over the world. And I've never met anybody that learns as fast as she does. Cut the bullshit. Tell me how to do it. How do I do it? Not how you do it. How's it supposed to be done? Okay, let me try. I've seen her do it with a bow. I've seen her do it with a brand new release she's never even seen before, with a brand new rollable sight she's never used before. Doesn't even understand how it works. Tell her how it works. Tell her how to do it. Tell her what to expect.
And let me do it myself.
I don't think she's ever been in a tree stand before. You know, so we hang this, you know, I think I built my first tree stand when I was like 9, I was telling the boys last night. And my dad made me carry it all the way to the woods and hang it. And I was probably still in that tree, you know. That was like 1988 or something like that, you know. And she embraced it. She didn't like climbing up there. She's not a huge fan of heights. But you know what? There's a safety harness. I put it up there. I leaned out of the tree to show her if it's going to hold my fat ass. You know, it's going to hold you. You're safe. So she will absolutely throw herself into the shitstorm, you know, and do it and try it and give it a shot. There was days where it was so bitter cold. I don't even know how we made it up the mountain to get there because there's so much snow, and I had to leave for work. And she's like, I'm going hunting. Cool. I don't know a lot of women that are going to go to where we hunt with all the bear sign and all the death and destruction and all that up there, you know. And she's like, there's a buck coming. And I was so excited for it. And then she's like, well, shit, I'm not sure what to do. I don't have my bows on the tree, you know, and I can't. She's not going to just, let me grab my bow and scare him away and educate him. She's not going to do that. You know, she's a very, very intelligent hunter. And, she's the fastest learner I've ever met. And to give her an opportunity to do something new and to discover that and figure it out on her own is like, she loves it. You know, and I'm like so stoked to just go somewhere and go on some crazy new hunt and do that because I know she's game. Doesn't matter what it is.
There's just such a thrill. I mean, I feel my happiest. I'm in my happiest spot when I'm almost scared shitless out in the woods, you know, or something's coming, or you have that excitement, or whatever happens, you know, you see a bear. It's you feel alive. Like there's nothing else that I've ever experienced where you can feel that same way. You know, when you harvest an animal or, you know, any of those things.
You can't explain it.
It's so
It's
rewarding,
unexplainable,
you know, and I don't enjoy killing things, you know, I'm still a woman, and for me that means not necessarily enjoying that part, but I love what it's able to do for myself and for my family, and so I really
I mean,
embrace
7
that.
out of 10 meals that we feed the boys are game meat, and they wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
Are we having?
Right.
She shot a great bear last year, spring bear, and we're getting right down to the end of it, and everyone in the house is sad.
Panicking.
Yeah.
Panic. No, we can't eat it yet. It's like rationing. It's like Monopoly
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
No way, man.
This is a
There's
Sunday
only a
meal.
couple 50s
Yeah.
left. You know,
This is the fancy
spend
stuff.
100, break the 100, get a couple 20s back.
You want
Yeah.
boardwalk? I'll give you
Yeah.
boardwalk.
Come on, it's railroad. You've got 3 railroads. Take this one. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's great, man, and they love it. You know, that turkey that I shot. I don't even. Not a lot of us have had great wild turkey, right?
Right.
This is the best wild turkey I've ever had in my life. It's the best, and the boys. I've told this story like 3 or 4 times. These boys, Gabe eats a little bit slow, but they eat their food and they like it.
Looked like
you
a
know?
bomb went off in the kitchen. There was just
I had to make them come out to the kitchen twice to get all the rice off the floor. She made this awesome like long grain rice in this recipe for like a stir fry teriyaki turkey, wild turkey, and it was ridiculous. We all gorged on it.
I don't like pride myself or like boost or broast or anything like that, but it's the best meal I've ever made.
And it was
It
a
was
wild
good.
turkey
It's
that I
wild
shot
turkey.
2 days before.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Insane. I mean, I couldn't even believe it.
Maybe I accidentally got that right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
take
it was
it.
good.
Who
The boys were
Yeah.
like, "Is there any more?" And they said,
Yeah.
"Is there any more wild turkey left?" We're like, "Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That's great." Yeah. And so it was like a wood chipper. There was just
Yeah.
lining both of the boys' chairs. There was rice
Rice.
everywhere. Like, did you guys eat
awesome.
any rice? You know, like it's all gone.
Yeah.
You didn't even hit your mouth. You
Yeah.
know, what are you talking about? I'm like, look on the floor. It's covered in rice.
It's good.
know?
That's a good
Yeah.
sign of a good meal.
It was great. Yeah, and they love it. It's like,
You'd brought something up, and I think it's, you know, my wife's the same way. She's fairly new to bow hunting, and she hasn't been for a couple of years, and, you know, we had kids, and you know how that goes. So, but, you know, when she was learning, I think women in general just much better at picking up anything, first of all, and
I
especially
agree.
when you get into, you know, and it's been such a male dominated, you know, sport for so long, and men's egos get in the way, and they know how to do it. Don't tell me how to do it. But yeah, same thing with my wife. I mean, she picked it up really good, and I mean, and really quickly, and my gosh, great shots. You know, I mean, I'm sure you're a good shot too, and it's just like how have you? I know you said you've been hunting since you've been 11, correct?
Mhm.
So, and I think I'd love to hear your thoughts, because men say this all the time. There's 4 guys around this table right now, and we're all like, well, you know, women and children, you know, it's a growing part of the industry, and you know, it's great to see them. How do you think it's come along? Because it's great to see more women involved, but do you like the image of the woman hunter and the woman outdoorsman? Do you see stuff that kind of makes you cringe, like, well, that's really not how it is?
Yes.
What do you think?
Yes.
Because I know what I think, but I want to hear what you think.
I think it's absolutely amazing. The more women that get involved and feel like they're able to do that without those barriers, I think is great. I will say I'm not like a women's activist person. I don't need to like scream equality or anything like that. So I think a lot of that stuff is kind of silly. As far as like the image goes, you can tell when somebody's a hunter and when somebody's a huntress, maybe. I know that's pushing a line, because I think it's great to keep femininity in it. However, what is your objective? Like, why are you doing it? And everybody's reasons can be different, just as they are for everything else. But I love seeing women get involved. I hate seeing women do it to be trendy or
To social media.
to gain attention. You know, and I have people tell me that all the time. Well, you're not even a real hunter, or I'm not.
you have no
I
idea.
don't
who
feed
she
my
is.
family
Yeah.
with animals that I harvest.
They just
you know,
don't. They just don't
there's
know,
just there is a lot. There is an image that's being portrayed that's, you know, maybe an attractive woman out in a field in camo with her bow and no arrows or release.
Yeah, and just a bunch of makeup
Or,
and
just, but I'm also, like I said, I think if you want to go out there and you want to be beautiful doing it, do
Yeah,
it.
sure.
Absolutely. I don't,
But I'd say that there's plenty of guys out there that probably fall under that same umbrella
Yeah,
too. That
they're-
are out there, and
oh man,
they
absolutely.
rather look good, make sure their camo matches, and
Yeah.
if they do happen to shoot something great, they'll look good for the picture.
I don't even think I have any
Right.
matching camo right now.
So, yeah, I mean, but that can be in any area that you look. There's going to be the people who are doing it, for, I can't say the right reasons, but for really authentic reasons. And then there's going to be people that are doing it for attention, maybe. But I also think that you can't, I mean, it's hard to look at anybody up and coming and go, well, they're not a real hunter. They're picking up a new sport or a new hobby or a new way of feeding their family, and it's okay for somebody to have a beginning because we all did, so yeah, I guess I want to see more women get involved, and I want to see more women feel like they can do it, and it's not like they're going to be judged for getting into it, like, oh, you're only doing it for this reason, if that makes sense, need to be a little bit more accepting, I think, and there's a very well-known idea, I think, with the whole women thing, getting involved in archery or involved in hunting in general. People they just don't buy it. Like, it's not real, or it can't be a thing, or whatever. And everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So
I tell everybody, try to outpack her. Put 60 pounds in your pack and just try to keep up, big guy.
Yeah.
Do your best.
Yeah.
Try it. I've tried.
Yeah.
I've done it. I have kind of a question to go along with that too. Do you think, like, if it's, let's say, 20 years ago, without all social media and without all the instant credibility, do you think that it would be different? Do you think people would take, let's say I don't not take anybody serious except for the couple that there's something with this huntress thing, right? You can be a huntress, that's fine. Be a huntress, be a hunter, right? Don't do it for that cool name that you get to put on your profile. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Do it to feed our family. Do it because it's a challenge. Do it because it scares you shitless every time you walk up in that tree stand, but you know that you've got the advantage, So I'm wondering if, what do you think if it was like 20 years ago when all this instant credibility wasn't really available? Do you think?
I think a lot less people in general would be doing it.
Yeah.
Women and men. Absolutely.
I think so too.
But,
Yeah.
up
I can see
until
that.
2 years ago, I didn't post anything about hunting. I didn't need to, I didn't have that avenue. I didn't have that outlet. I also was doing something completely different than I'm doing now. When I hunted, I was in my dad's hand-me-down camo that barely fit, it just, we made it all work. I hunt now and I hunted then for the animals, for the experience, for being outside and for feeling like I can handle my own. That's empowering to me. I did it then without being, in a social light or without representing that. But now I'm able to do that and I can represent that. I choose to represent that so that I can be that influence for other women, because being single for a long time, I had to do all that my own. My dad kind of quit for other reasons. And so I was like, if I want to continue to do this, I better just go. And for me, getting started on truly hunting solo, I'd go out to my spot and I'd get out of the car and I'd, kind of look around a little bit, like, do I really want to do this? And I'd take short trips and then, come back to the car, and then I'd take longer trips and then come back to the car. And there's a lot of women that I know that hunt that still won't hunt solo. There's a really broad range of what you can do and what you're capable of and what people are comfortable with. I think men and women alike. So
And
I
think-
can't stop listening to those turkeys
I
gobble.
know, God, that's all I can
Yeah.
hear. I mean, I heard everything you said.
They're
but
probably
yeah.
on our property yet. So I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys have tagged.
There's some-
Intermission.
yeah, actually, we do. We didn't bring our bows for the first time ever. They're not in the truck.
Did you see the
though,
blind
so-
on the way up the driveway?
Uh-uh.
Oh,
It's in a good
must
spot
be in
then.
Cryptech Camp.
Yeah, nice.
Right. Yeah.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. It's interesting, social media. These guys make fun of me. So I've been off the grid forever. I've bucked, Facebook, Instagram. We've talked about it in past podcasts, but I think I just got Instagram and Facebook a little over a month ago. And you're right. It's pretty interesting seeing the you can tell just within a couple pictures of what kind of what this person's trying to achieve. You know, I mean, you can tell if it's legit or not. You can, just like when you talk to somebody about hunting or fishing. I mean, in 2 sentences, you know whether or not it's legit. And yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
But you know, everybody's only portraying what they want people to see.
Right.
You know,
Well,
it's the highlight reel.
yeah,
you know?
exactly. You're seeing the best of them or what they think the best is.
My
And-
philosophy, though, and not that everybody will follow suit, is you never know. I don't ever pretend to know anybody's idea or their thoughts or their intentions. So I just quietly stay out of it and I worry about me. You know,
Yeah.
the old-fashioned just worry about you. It works.
Tim Burnett, solo hunter, one time I heard him say something so interesting to me. He goes, you know, you guys only see what I want you to see. I produce this. I call the shots. I know what the industry will allow me to do and still have my TV show, and that's what you're going to get. I'm going to show you what, you know, I'm going to show you sometimes when I kick my own ass or I fall or I do whatever, and yeah, I'm going to give you some of that, but you're only going to get what I show you, you know, and it's the same thing that's, you know, we don't really filter too much, you know, which is kind of why we like you guys too. You know, it's authentic, it's genuine, it is what it is, and we don't
It's
do it all.
realistic.
We don't do it all well.
We mess
you
it up
know?
sometimes, you know?
Well, some days there's literally some days where it's controlled fall all day long. And actually, she's the first person that I ever heard say that, and she kept falling and falling, not like falling all the way down, but
Yeah.
You have those trips out hunting when everything grabs your feet, you know?
Yeah.
I think this one time actually down south when we were hunting, I don't even know where the stick came from, but it was a hefty stick, and it went right between both of my feet, and I just face planted. Like
medieval weapon,
did that
and
even
just hooked her
happen?
legs and wham.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's not there. You know, it's sometimes it's just like this daily virus. You just I can't walk. I don't know what the deal is. I slept good last night.
Well, that's the great thing with the outdoors, and it is tough. You got to John's point, you know, you weed through the pose. I don't want to say they're posers, but you weed through the people that, you know, they're just showing you the highlights. But, you know, hunting is just so much more than grip and grins or, you know, trophy shots, and it really is so much more than that. And I think, you know, your correlation with fitness and probably why you guys have so much success with hunters and outdoorsmen and women with your business is because there's that mindset. You know, there's a lot of similarities between hunting and fishing and fitness. You know, it is a grind. You know, it's like you want that body or that you know, that you in your mind that you see, or, you know, to be able to run that distance that you want to be able to run, and it all looks good at the end, and that's what you know. Yeah. And even yourself, you're like, wow, you know, like that would be great. But then when you're done, you know, you look back, just like the bull, you know, or the buck you shoot. It's like, man,
Yeah.
How about the, you know, hours and hours I've spent in the tree stand.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
You know, whitetail hunting. It's like, you know, I grew up same thing, whitetail hunting, and you know, I came out, I kind of showed these guys a little bit of tree stand hunting, and they're like, you're fucking crazy.
People think you're dumb.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
I can't do this. You know, and
how do you
but
do
it's
it
a
if you're
mental
ADD?
thing.
Yeah.
You know, you just sing the whole time. It's some probably
Well,
Richard
John-
Simmons thing. You know,
John likes to color.
Yeah.
Lots
Do you
of
color in
lots
the
of
tree stand?
Crayolas.
Adult coloring books.
Yep.
I bring a little window to lick.
I don't color.
Not sure what to do.
Okay,
with my time.
good.
Joking.
Yeah.
All right. I was like,
We
wow.
joked about that on a recent podcast.
Yeah.
I take one of each color because I drop them. Yeah. It's
Or
mad
Or
adult.
two of each
Adult
color.
coloring though.
Yeah.
This is up and coming.
I
Just
can
a
tell you're a
numbers game?
successful hunter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You know, and I've always been big on training to go. I don't train for show. I mean, I did a fitness modeling competition one time where it mattered what I look like.
This changes everything.
Yeah.
No,
Write that down. Take some
It was on a.
notes.
That's
it was
right.
on
He
a,
shaved his legs for it.
Yes,
Oh,
dude, I didn't have
wow.
a choice, and I bled like I was dying.
And if anybody wants to see those pictures, they'll be up on our
They're
website.
great. You should have saw my calves, man. They're awesome.
Never
Yeah,
quit.
no, I was on a bet. I was on a bet with my business partner, my buddy who was a trainer, and I had put on like 25 pounds. I had a morbidly obese client. I was trying to help her out. So for a month, I ate nothing but fast food, and I put on like 30 pounds. And my
Ugh.
doctor was like, "Dude, you're
Must
gonna
have felt
die
horrible.
if you're gonna." It was horrible. It was close to depression.
Yeah.
And so 4 weeks, we did this 8-week total body transformation, and she was killing it, man. And 4 weeks into it, my buddy's like, "Hey, man, we just opened a new facility, our first real big, beautiful place." And He's like, hey, I'm doing this fitness modeling competition in Tampa for a PR stunt. He's like, you should do it with me. And I'm like, dude, I spend more time with you than anybody in this world. You know what I've been doing this last. Yeah. He's like, good, don't be a punk. You got 4 weeks, and hung up. And I'm like, okay, fine. You know? And so that was the one and only time where I had to be like, I had to train to look, right?
Yeah.
And so I tell all my people, and that's a deal breaker for me too. If you're training to look better in the mirror, I don't really have much for you, you know? If you're training to go, the aesthetics of that show are coming with it. You know, I'm not like doing 1,000 crunches a day and hoping that my core, I'm eating right, you know? This part doesn't happen out in the woods. It happens in the kitchen, you know, and that's the part, you know, you touched on it when we first started talking about it. I have this 80-20 rule. The fitness, physical part of it's 20% of the ball game, you know? I don't care how much you train. I don't care how much you train. We've both have clients in the past, and maybe even a client or two right now, that need to eat for what they're doing, and they're not hitting their potential because of that, and they know it. And that's
you know who you are out there.
You know who you are.
Yeah.
You know who you're doing.
You can do it though.
Yeah. So
Do you think that's the biggest area where people fall short?
I think that one, you need to lay out expectations. What do you expect me to do for you? What do you expect to happen in the next 5 months? What do you mean 5 months? You're going to be alive in 5 months, right? You plan to live for 5 months? You're not going to be this starting here and end up here in 5 months. I mean, you're 45 years old. How long did it take you to get to here? Good. Well, what have you been doing until now? Great. How's that working for you?
Mm-hmm.
It's just brutal. It's in your face. It is what it is. I can't make it up. I can't change that with words. If you want it, I will give you the tools to do it. I've done it successfully for a long time. She's done it successfully for a long time. We also lead by example. You know what I mean? And I tell people, you don't have to be ready for a photo shoot, but you could be 3 or 4 weeks out of it if you had to be, you know, because we go and we pound out the miles. We put in the reps. We do workouts with our clients. We do this stuff to make us functionally capable of going out and doing those hard hunts. And, you know, I want to go run down the driveway right now with this giant knife in my pocket and slay one of those turkeys. That's all I can think about. Like, how long will it take me to run down that hill? I'd probably trip, to be honest with you, halfway down the hill.
Yeah, you don't want to go through the horse pasture. It's a little sticky down there.
Yeah, train to go. Don't train for show. You know, if you're 18,
Stay
consistency. Don't
Okay,
flatter
so
yourself.
consistency.
Yeah.
Do you guys see, and I know the three of us have definitely been we're guilty of this, you know, that post-season, post-September
Oh, yeah.
slump. You know, where everybody's like, oh, I just trained, and then I just came off of a 2-week hunt where I, you know, starved myself, but I'm constantly, you know, outworking the calories I'm putting in, and, you know, you get back and you're like, yes, now I'm going to binge for a while.
Yeah.
The beer flow.
Oh, yeah.
You should have
Yeah.
seen me after nationals last year.
Yeah.
I don't think I stopped eating pancakes for 3 weeks.
We
I mean,
went
I
and had
ate
the first sip
pancakes
of
and-
alcohol in who knows how
Yeah,
long.
had
And
2 glasses of wine, and I couldn't quit laughing for a day.
No joke, we were laughing so hard I didn't feel
Yeah.
I didn't feel it was safe to drive 4 blocks,
Oh,
5
yeah.
blocks to our house. I mean, we didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
What's the surplus of calories and
Yeah.
is this alcohol? This is great. Why have we not been using this every day? This feels nice.
Oh, stop.
So,
But
yeah,
yes,
it's-
there's definitely that downtime, you know, and I think it's important even for our clients, you know, there's going to be times where you go, chill out, go on vacation,
yeah,
you know, have a margarita or
or 2 margaritas.
Or 7.
Yeah, I like to call it post-bull depression.
Yeah.
Yeah, post-bull depression. It's no big deal. It'll
just
work it
don't
off.
stay there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, just
That's the
Like
thing.
what? Like how many months would be considered staying there? I have a friend, same friend that might be
Yeah.
a few pounds.
You know,
heavy
for about $179 a
15.
month, I could show you.
Well, that would about account for the amount of alcohol. I mean, I'm
think-
spending about 200 a month.
Yeah, I think
there's something to be said for
IPAs are
that.
expensive.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for that.
it is. I mean,
You can't afford to be healthy. I think you probably can.
yeah, and I mean that money can be directly translated into supplements or, you know, into a new pair of shoes to hike or something like that, you know. So I think it's choices, but you know, like Courtney was speaking on, you got to make the decision.
Yeah.
You know, a vacation is a vacation. It's not a short time move. We don't call it that. It's a vacation. You go and you escape, and then you come back. And we have to come back to work, and we have to come back to whatever. And it's the same thing with that, you know. And if you're gonna fall off the wagon. We were both injured basically at the same time for the last. She just had an MRI last Saturday. You know, nobody knows about it. That's
Well,
just
they
how it
do
is.
now,
They do
thanks,
now.
baby.
She had an MRI. No, I think that you gotta. What do you want? What do you want to do? Like she was saying earlier, how you hunting? What are you doing? What is it that you're doing? Why are you interested in health? And what's the priority level of it in your life? And so for us, yeah, we goofed off for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, or something like that. And then actually, we get back to Eugene. It's 40 degrees outside. It's like the hottest day on record. And she's like, hey, let's do a 10-round hit workout.
I don't know why I plan such. That's somebody I give to somebody else. That's not a workout I do or keep.
horrible.
That's like a quiet
was
workout, like, oh, you like the pain? Here you go.
It's 104, 105.
10 rounds,
10 rounds.
including like a quarter-mile hill
It's
run that was
horrible.
terrible.
We had these quarter ups, which is I'd call quarter ups. It's this: you do a sit up with she gives me a 25 or 30 pound kettlebell, and you do basically a sit up in kind of a Turkish get up kind of a form, one knee bent, one leg out. Doing a sit up, whatever.
Oh,
Turkey,
yeah.
Turkish,
turkey.
gobble,
Got it.
turkey. And so we did 10
Kettlebell.
rounds of those.
Kettlebell.
Yeah.
Got
Well,
it.
we can
Okay.
talk about that.
Write
I have a
that
card.
down.
I'll give you a card before we leave. And we're doing this for who knows an hour. And my ass was so raw on the top of it from doing so many sit-ups in this
Oh, you've
fucking
done these.
driveway.
You've done these.
I have.
Horrible.
Raw ass gave it away.
And I was like, man, that wasn't too bad.
Still
And we go in to take a
until
shower.
you get in the shower.
In the shower, and it was like fighting words. I was like, I'm throwing shots at the fiberglass shower. It hurts so bad. And I'm like, why did we have nothing to prove. We've proved it. We've won it, or we've conquered it, or we've done it, or we've run it, or whatever. And my ass hurts so bad right now. I can't believe we just went through that, So I don't think we fell off too long. It was quick. And you go out and you test yourself and you realize that it's not fundamentally intelligent decision to do that, because now it's really hard.
For me, I start feeling it more in my head.
Yeah.
Like my patience changes and my motivation, my energy changes, and I'm like, all right, you're done with your break. Your body
Yep.
feels good. It's time to go
Yeah.
before you
Time to
commit crimes
burn
that you
some
can't
stress
take back.
hormone. Right. Yeah, it can't be covered up.
Yeah. Exercise for me, training for me calms my crazy. I think it does for a lot of people, but you don't understand the power of that until you really adopt that lifestyle,
Or it's taken away from you from injury.
Or it's taken
like
away,
right now, she's not supposed to be running or really doing much of anything or hiking or whatever. But I know for a fact that life is going to be better if we go and burn some calories. And it's it is what it is.
Yeah.
Don't vacate too long, man.
Yeah.
Don't vacate
So-
too long.
Oh,
So you're ready to get back on horse. Yeah.
That's what I. That's what
I
I
read
heard.
between the
Fiscal
lines.
year.
I read
That's
between the lines.
fiscal year. Yeah, really good.
When are taxes due? Okay.
Yeah.
You guys got any other questions you want to ask?
We got. Would you rather? Did you want to do that?
I really, honestly, never, other than the tree stand thing.
Well, I
we kinda
kind of got one, but that was before I knew Stefan was such a big tree hunter.
Yeah.
Tree stand hunter from Michigan.
Oh, let me have it anyway.
We can try it. We
Okay,
can try
sure.
it. Okay. So, would you rather? And this will play into your guys' love of physical activities when you're hunting.
Be a
And
male
this
model.
isn't. Yeah, male model.
You feel this one first.
No,
I'm
no,
out.
yeah. And this is not to. Downgrade rifle hunters, because I still shoot guns and I like guns too. So, but would you rather, if you had to choose, for the rest of your hunting career, archery hunt, because you both love archery, but you could only stay in a tree stand. You had to tree stand hunt. Or you could pick up a rifle and make it as strenuous as you wanted to go. You could go any place. You could go to that rough terrain, but you had to use a rifle.
I know my answer.
Go.
Rifle.
Yeah.
I need to explore. I need to move. I need to see and struggle and sweat and
Yeah.
see new things,
Yeah, I'd
Definitely.
rifle. I'd be pissy about it, but I'd be
You're like, ah.
I'd be super pissy. I'd have the heaviest rifle ever, and I'd have hers in my pack.
No scope. Iron
Yeah,
sights.
she wouldn't want to be around
Iron
me, so
sights.
yeah.
Yeah. Lever action 30-30.
It would probably be I was gonna
Yeah.
say I have an old Springfield 30-40 Krag that was my grandpa's war rifle. That is like will blow your shoulder off and is not accurate. I'd probably take that
Yeah. Yeah.
just for the abuse
yeah,
factor.
So then you have to
challenge.
take me so we actually harvest animals.
That's right.
Challenge.
Yeah. What about you, Nader?
I don't know if I can give up the bow.
Yeah.
You could always throw on a climber
We'll
stand.
come visit you in your stand.
Yeah.
Well, you're never you're never in your stand, at
That's
least when the
true.
bulls are there. So
Ooh, that was a shot.
that's almost every episode now we bring that up. So
For
Hey,
the last 3 years.
It's all about accountability.
3
so-
years?
it is.
4 years?
The bull's is digressing at this point. He's going down.
No,
I don't know.
It's
It's
quite
like the
that.
last 3 or
It's
4
not
years.
backsliding.
Nate's there's been a circumstance where Nate was within. Basically, he just chose to hunt the wrong spot, and the stand that we hung specifically with him that he picked out, 4 or 5 years ago, that's the stand. There's always a bull there
primo spot.
during daylight hours.
Nice.
6 point, 5 point, just.
You guys give
Where's
me a
that-
guilt
where's that
trip.
at?
in,
Last year you were
Rubs, there's a
last
bunch of
year
bears in
last
there.
year
I
you
think
were
it's the
walking.
same
Last
spot.
year you slept in. That's right. Last year he slept
last
in
year he
and
slept in.
walked. The bull was there, and he.
He's
Of
the one that
course,
drove
but
up.
But
let
hey,
me make you
that
feel better.
happens.
Had you gone up and got out there, he wouldn't have been there. So
True.
don't
That's true.
just enjoy it.
Yeah,
I mean,
more
Yeah.
than
Good thing we got
likely.
that trail
That's the
cam
irony.
footage.
So would you rather? Does any of your
Oh.
guests ever ask you? Would you
Yeah,
rather?
what do
Hey,
you
would you
got?
rather? Well,
What do you got?
like we answer that one, but if you have a would you rather, please
I have
shoot.
a would you rather. Would you rather hunt for the rest of your life with a horrible, almost crippling limp, or missing an eye?
Crippling limp or missing an eye?
I'll
Is
take
it-
the eye.
Is it your
Uh,
dominant eye?
It doesn't
I
matter.
assume.
I'll
I
just
don't
switch
know.
it
I'd
up.
say the
No.
worst case scenario. Yeah,
With a
dominant eye.
crippling
Why
limp?
not?
Hmm.
I'll go.
I'm talking
I'll go
limp
off.
like it's so bad people try to help you sometimes.
Like
Are you okay, man?
Hunchback in Notre Dame limp? you know,
yeah,
like
sure. But I mean, but you're
Shuffle on
still
through.
you're highly skilled with your weapon.
Esmeralda.
My precious.
Yeah. Eye.
Yeah, I'll take the eye.
Eye.
Take the eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
You going eye?
Take the eye. Is there pain? Is there pain with the limp?
Well, yeah, you're limping all the time.
You don't limp because it
And there's
feels
also
good.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I've
mean-
never limped and been like, God, what a release.
and then with the eye, you also
Thank
have
God, because I was walking normal last week, and that was.
I don't know. I
sucked.
didn't know if it was like a stub and there was no nerves down there.
You get to decide. No, it's not. You still have a leg and a foot.
foot
It just doesn't work like it's supposed
It's just
to.
all dead down there.
Yeah,
just dead.
you might even feel it. It might
so
just hurt.
let's rephrase. They're dragging their leg and limping with the other.
It could. Yeah, I
You
mean,
have
it
to
could
drag-
just. It
drag
could
and
just be a real. You're not running anywhere.
This is
You're not
Cap-
doing a
Captain Hook
5K.
situation.
I rarely run anyway, but I would go with the eye.
The
I would
eye?
go with the eye.
Huh?
Yeah.
And your eye has a constant pus that's just coming out. It's very gross.
There's bugs in it and birds and stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a
No,
hummingbird
that's a good one.
haven.
Yeah.
I'll take the eye.
Take the
I'll
eye.
take the eye. I gotta move. I gotta be able to move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I still got one left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You go eye.
I feel like I couldn't
Leg.
walk with that limp now. So, no, I would take the eye. Yeah.
Can I
Yeah.
get a sweet glass eye though? Like kind of one.
I don't think there should be
Kind
a
of a
limit
s-
on the glass
Like,
eye.
just kinda-
Maybe like a crosshair one or something. Like.
yeah.
I
Oh,
gave
that'd
this
be
up to
cool.
be able to hunt.
Can I go stand
Yeah.
pots? Just get it just to drift a little bit.
Just a
Can
drifter.
you can order those now.
Yeah.
You can order the.
We like to call that the dolphin eye.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want to look at someone, but you don't want them to know.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
We dolphin eye.
So you guys, you're with. I know you do quite a bit with the Bowtech women ambassadors.
Mhm.
How's that going?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's great. It's I get a lot of messages going, I've picked up a bow. I just got my new bow, and so it's really fulfilling on that level just to see and hear a lot of success stories from other women. It's a great movement. It allows other women to feel like they can break into it without being judged. It kind of gives them a little space in the industry or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's
She's
great.
Broken a lot of people out of a shell. And especially on the single moms that want to go out and take their kids out and show them how to just set up a tent.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid, like let's chat, or she gets those kind of things. We've actually talked about traveling around the nation and doing seminars. It's kind of really like niching down and focusing on those moms or those people that weren't fortunate enough to grow up being in the outdoors or have anybody that could be like, hey, here's how you start a fire,
Yeah.
or because it's to us nowadays, it's like, well, yeah, let me grab my six lighters that I have for no reason in my pocket and start a fire. Well, what if it's raining and you don't have a shelter set up yet?
Yeah.
Well, I don't
There's
know,
a lot of skills
know?
that
Yeah.
are vital for people to learn, and not to just keep picking on single moms, but having been one, there's a lot of women out there that have children or sons or daughters that want to go out and explore. They just, where do I start? It can be really intimidating for people. So
Yeah.
allowing there to be a little bit of that guidance
Yeah.
enables more people to enjoy it.
And then
Sure.
just the outdoors in general. I think women feel same thing with guys, but you feel comfortable with, the same sex if you're just getting into something. And, we see that a lot with archery where, and we discussed this with our guest last week, Corey Miller. And, we talked about how just the archery shop has always, been just that male-oriented, very standoffish, uninviting, unappealing if you're, a woman or a child or even a guy that just has never been into it. It's, usually you got that, oh, you don't shoot, that
Right.
that type of attitude. And I know Bowtech ran just the local pro shop there ran a women's only league. Were you part of that at all? I think that was before you probably picked up a bow. But I remember the guys that ran it said that was by far the most successful night of archery that they'd have throughout the week.
That's awesome.
Because, the women were in there, they were comfortable, it didn't matter. Most of them hadn't shot before. Nobody felt embarrassed because they were all just beginning and there was no, male ego involved or, sense of uncomfortability. It was really great. So I think what you're doing and that's growing and that's awesome. That's really great. So.
Yeah, Bowtech's done a good job too. They're allowing a lot more of that growth, like you were just saying, and providing an avenue by having the women's league and I think at one point, or maybe it was the same one, they did a women and children's league. So moms could bring their kids in, and that's not always an inviting space for us. When I go by myself and I tote my 2 little boys, I'm a nuisance for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Or it's loud, or there's kids here. It's just not always very welcoming. So having that ability and an outlet to go and pursue what makes you tick, that's great. That's awesome.
Well, great. Where can people, if they want to get a hold of you and get a discounted rate, what is it? Keyword The Crave, and they get 10% off their physical fitness monthly with you guys. Is that what we discussed?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You could do it.
We can't do that. We can't do that. We don't have a budget for that.
You only pay 10%. We'll just reverse it. We'll pay 90%.
They write it off. No. If people want to find you, where do they got to go?
If they're happy, they can come to me. If they're not happy, they can go to Steven.
Yeah.
Rejection.
ElevationFitnessTraining.com. You can find us both on Instagram. We have an Elevation Fitness Training page. We also both have our own individual pages under our name. Mine actually is under Her Outdoor Journey. And our phone numbers are online too, so you guys can give us a call. Again, if you're upset, you call Steven's number. If you're happy and have a great...
if you want to leave me a message on that, I'll talk you off the ledge.
But we do. Yeah. We love getting the messages. We love hearing just, people sharing their story and just telling us a little bit about where they're going and what they're doing. And, it's nice to have those messages and the support and all of that. So, everybody drop us a line or...
Yeah, and I had this really awesome message the other day about, hey, I was on the Bowtech website the other day, and I didn't know that fitness was that important for hunting, and they have a fitness ambassadors, and you're a fitness ambassador. And I was like, well, yeah. And, well, why don't you guys ever talk about that? Well, it's what we do and it's what we love, but it's there for that to consume. It's important that we have such a great partnership with Bowtech because there are, just like you guys are saying, and I think this is great that you had us out to even talk about it, because so many people might draw a tag and let's say, and I don't want to like crap on any of the flatter, states, you know what I mean? Kansas or whatever like that, or, the middle of the country. But, you're playing at 300 feet of elevation and you come out and your hike starts at 6,000 feet and you're going after a mule deer or a bull that doesn't want you close to him, and you realize that your hunting and your health now have to find some kind of a marriage, right? And, to have this really cool cat say, hey, I just never even considered fitness to be a part of it, and I saw your picture on the Bowtech website, and I see all these videos that you and your wife are doing, and we always get the husband-wife thing, and so we're just like, okay, and we just thought it'd be super cool to reach out and say, hey, and some of those conversations turn into a working relationship, and some of them are just really fun chats that I can sit back and go, man, she gets messages every day from women encouraging, and I get the occasional message from guys who just want to know more about it. Like, why is it so important to be fit to hunt? And so, thank goodness we have a lot of great companies that back us, and they all kind of help us share that.
Yeah.
It's really awesome. So
Great.
and guys like you, and this is huge. This is awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Great
educating people. I mean, education is power. So.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I thought of something I wanted to ask you guys while I was mowing the lawn this week, actually. So there's always the discussion, mainstream sports. You think about basketball, football, baseball, soccer, hockey, all big sports, right? But then you start talking about NASCAR. Are those guys athletes? Is that a sport? It's kind of got me thinking, do you guys think, we'll go around real quick, do you guys think that hunters, and I'm not saying like this movement of, hunter athlete, but are just hunters, do you consider them athletes?
Absolutely.
Not all of them.
Good. I like this. This is like first
Conflict.
take. Conflict.
Okay, so let me just
could be more wrong.
Let me be a little more.
Liar.
I told you I'm reactive.
You be Stephen A.
I'm siding
Smith.
with Courtney.
I think that the hunter that I view on the way that we live our lives, and the people like you guys, and the people that we coach, and the people that we work with daily, they're athletes. They have to be athletes.
Not John. Clearly. I mean, your friend. Your friend.
I mean, your
My
guy,
buddy.
your friend,
Right.
The guy that's packing
Right.
a little extra. Yeah.
Right.
So he
That
could
guy.
be
He's
an
fat.
athlete. But no, I have to say that I 100% agree with Courtney that if you're looking just at a blind, I've never seen hunting, are hunters athletes? Not all of them. No.
Courtney says not all of them.
Not all of them. We had an experience this last year, and I think probably we all have, but we were over in Southern Oregon. We were just going out just to get out, go hike in the woods or whatever. We didn't realize it was opening season of rifle hunting. And I've never seen such a thing. I've seen road hunters. This was insane. It was like car after car after car after car. There's people standing with guns in the back of trucks driving down the roads. Like,
It's like Juarez, Mexico.
I'm
Or
like,
Mad
what's
Max.
going
Yeah.
on?
It was like Mad
Yeah.
Max. It really was. And we were like, and it was a spot I had a couple tree stands out before I moved, and I'd seen huge bulls in there and all cats. And I mean, my buddy and I were run out by 3 cougars out of there one night. And it was like, I can't wait to show you this spot, and it's so beautiful, and
It's
you
a
can see
great
Shasta here,
area.
Mount McLaughlin over here, and all of a sudden it was just like redneck central.
yeah.
I've never seen anything like it.
It was like NASCAR. So yeah, maybe. Yeah. Maybe it is
Yeah.
still considered a sport.
Right. There was 10 guys in the back of the truck and 1 full set of teeth. It was perfect.
Yeah.
But no, and they had
It was
guns, and
the-
we were
they
hearing
fitting the
shots. And,
stereotypes, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
So no, in that
Banjo
case,
music?
yeah, that was an embarrassment to our way of life. Yeah, for sure. But
Yeah.
good
Nader,
question.
what do you think?
Of
The question we're talking about.
Can we replay the tape?
Wait,
Where are we?
are hunters athletes?
I see that question.
Yeah, that question.
They should be if they're not.
Yeah.
If they want to be successful.
Yeah.
It took me a lot of years to learn that before I started going down the right path. It makes a big difference.
It does.
Yeah, man.
Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have there's gonna be those people out there that match the stereotype that a lot of the antis have. Just kind of gives them more ammo. But yeah, absolutely. Now, I mean, if you want to narrow it down to like an athlete in terms of being athletic, you don't necessarily have to be really athletic, as in dunk a 10-foot hoop or run a 4.40. You don't have to be that kind of athlete, but you can definitely be an athlete to the fact of getting in shape.
Right.
And yeah, there's some guys that are in very phenomenal shape.
Yeah.
And that
Well,
that definitely plays into it.
Yeah, even things like, there's the coordination factor. You hunted out of a tree stand for the first time. I've seen people that are good athletes, but extremely uncomfortable with heights, extremely uncomfortable with climbing anything and standing on
Standing up on your
standing
tree
up
stand?
and trying. And then, the coordination of, we've all done it. Everyone here has shot a bow out of a tree stand. Not an easy thing to do. Not an easy thing to do. Growing up with it, it's like one of those things where, yeah, it kind of becomes second nature.
Yeah.
But, at 35 or 45 years old, all of a sudden climb a tree 10 feet, 20 feet in the air, and then be coordinated enough to pull a bow
In the
back.
dark?
And,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's, you got to have your you got to have your stuff together. So
I can attest to that.
I've seen
Yeah.
that.
Last
You know, I
year,
grew-
finally made it happen.
Yeah,
but
I grew up 23 years in Michigan hunting out of a tree stand, and I was, I'm prepared for that, and I know what to expect. And I come out here, and I have the first probably 350 plus bull scream in my face from 15 yards, and I thought I was going to have a heart attack and die. I had no idea. I wasn't prepared for it. I thought I knew how to handle it. I didn't. I probably lost time. I know I made a video of it. I don't know
Yeah.
what I said, you know. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's what you're surrounded with, you know. So she'd been surrounded by that because she grew up out here, and then it was interesting, you know. For me, I'd never really truly hunted mule deer. I didn't grow up with mule deer, you know. I couldn't go over where he's from in Wisconsin and go, hey, let's go kill some mule deer.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Grab a plane ticket.
Yeah.
Let's fly out
Yeah.
to the western states. So yeah, it's what you're for sure. It's what you're used to and what you're familiar with. And a lot of people, and when they take that first shot, you know, you stand up in your tree stand, you pivot at the hips. This doesn't change, right? You pivot at the hips. You don't do that. You're shooting over animals, and it's just those little details. It's those little things. And
Yeah.
till you're comfortable with it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and you got to be coordination helps.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah, for sure. You want to bring us home?
Yeah, sure. So, all right. End of every episode, we end it with a "What did you learn?" segment. So, Jake, what'd you learn today?
Steven did one bodybuilding showcase. What do you call that?
It was a fitness modeling.
A fitness
competition,
modeling
Yeah.
once in your life.
This is not a bodybuilder, buddy.
FMC.
Let me show you what a skater's body really looks like. That's what I learned. And I need to get in better shape. That's what I learned. Those are the two things I learned.
Brought you a card for that.
Yeah. I learned I need to start doing some burpees. Get ready for that rematch with Richard Simmons.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I'll coach you on
You got
that
lost
one
in
for
your
sure.
glistening hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In his short shorts.
I learned that John has a friend
Close
who
friend.
may be a client soon.
I learned two things that were pretty interesting. One, that John likes to color in the tree stand pastime, and that
All pastels too.
that you're a professional speed walker. I didn't know
yeah.
that. I didn't even know it existed, and I'm really interested in. I'd like to see some tape.
Yeah, we can break it out after we shut it down here. Sure.
Yeah.
Two things.
I don't even need shoes.
Two things. I learned the real reason why Jake invited me here tonight was to attract the mosquitoes. Something about my body composition. The mosquitoes like.
Thank you for doing that. by the way.
Because I'm getting a little lightheaded over here. I've lost so much blood.
You're a little peaked.
And then secondly, I learned that unlike what we thought earlier, Steven's abs aren't painted on.
Nope.
They're the real thing.
That's a real thing there. Yeah.
It depends on if she feels like airbrushing in the morning or not. But try to get that out of the way by 9.
You're good enough. You're strong enough.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Well,
guys.
if you guys got anything else you want to talk about, or
Shout out to all of our awesome clients who are kicking ass and making us proud. Doing a good job, man.
well, we really appreciate you guys making the drive out here, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So.
thanks
Yeah.
for having us.
Thanks
You
for having
want
us.
to give our social plugs
Yeah.
real quick?
Yeah. So if you want to follow the show, go to thecrave.net. It's our website. We've got all our episodes up there, video versions and audio, blog articles, extra content. Going to have decals for sale up there as well here pretty quick, so be on the lookout for that. Window decals. Facebook, look for us, The Crave Podcast. Instagram, the.crave.podcast.
Awesome.
I do have one question. I just thought of it.
Yeah.
How'd you guys come up with the name Crave? It was super cool.
Yeah, that was. I mean, we luckily we haven't had an episode that's been shaky or anything, but whatever our worst episode ends up being, or our most stressful, will not even be coming close to how stressful it was and time consuming it was coming up with a name for this thing.
The naming convention was? I mean, it was months.
It was
It was months. It was
yeah.
literally months.
We
I
spent
was still
longer
employed.
doing that.
That's how
than
long
anything
ago it
else.
was.
So what was like the last? What was the last 5 minutes of that?
So
Well, how
Jake has they have a chalkboard wall in their kitchen in there.
I like to draw on there.
It's fun.
I can't put my crayons on there.
Right.
They don't like that. But we use the chalk.
He's been one twice.
And it just came down to like finally one night we just need to decide on this.
Yeah.
And I mean our wives were giving us some input and
What was the
man,
runner
it
up? What was
it
the
was-
close ones?
it's such a good one. I don't even know if I still want
I
to
think we
put
want
it
to.
out
I
there.
think we might trademark it too.
Yeah.
Use it for something
Okay.
else.
Good, yeah.
I'll tell you offline.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll,
But
we'll tell you guys what it is. Don't worry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
No, it was tough. It was really tough. But it came down to, was it sound cool? And then socially it was a big deal. Like, is it, we had a lot of good names that we liked, but like,
Had
okay,
to be unique.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, either unique or, somebody was already using it and it's,
Yeah.
kind of got a different affiliation, which, wasn't going to really work for tagging and stuff. So,
Okay. Does it stand for anything? Is it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah. We wanted the show to be about not just one thing in particular, not just archery or just gun hunting or just fishing for bass. We wanted to kind of embody everything that we loved and what we craved. And was that just, whether we're, working or, whatever we're doing, we're generally craving some sort of outdoor activity.
Mm-hmm.
And
Being outside, just
Awesome.
doing something.
I like it.
Yeah. So, and it doesn't matter, we love to hunt and we love to fish, but honestly, if it's scouting or just taking the family for a drive and looking for the turkeys that are probably across the road on the neighbors, stuff like that doesn't matter. Just it's what we
I
love.
love it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We were trying to decide whether we were going to go up to our cams before we came here, if we'd have enough time or not.
Mm.
So that's, yeah. You guys are great, man. Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
out. This was
you
super
bet.
fun.
Appreciate
Thank
your
you
time.
guys.
Thanks for feeding me.
Yeah.
That was
Next time
burger.
we'll
that was where was that elk from?
do another 4 or 5 pounds of that elk.
Oh, that was
Sled from last
I don't know
year.
if that was Sled Springs or not. Not sure.
Mm.
Doesn't
It was
matter.
good.
Tasty.
Thank you.
Yeah, you
Yes.
bet.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
thanks for having us.
Thanks a lot.